What is going on, everyone? It's good to see you, and kind of like you can see me, I guess. This is a weird time for everybody, but we're going to be able to do some good things no matter what. So that's why I wanted to create this video. Kay should have sent an email out kind of explaining our thought process going forward, and we might adjust and change as we go along, but I wanted to follow up with this and talk a little bit about a couple things. First of all, really truly, if there's anything going on in your life that you need help with, please let us know. Kay and I want to do more than anything else. We care about the journalism, but we also don't care about the journalism. We care about you as a person and your family. And if there's anything going on that you need, anything at all, like let us know. If we can't do something personally, that we could probably contact the school and work with the school to get you some kind of help or needs, whatever's going on. So, all right. So that's number one. Number two is that we're still in school and we're still going to go forward. We're going to do some journalism. And whatever that means, that might mean a lot of different things. We have a lot of different people doing different things. It's going to be easier for some and harder for others, and we understand that. So through this whole process, if there's anything that you also want to contribute as far as like the conversation of how we should do this, let us know. We're in uncharted territory. We do not know exactly what's going on, how it's going to work, and how long we'll be out, but we're going to go forward and do good things no matter what. And Kay should have sent an email home and to you guys to talk about what our plans are going forward. We have already gotten in touch with the editors and had a group conference with them, deciding that the one common base we all have is Wired, and it's the one way that we could still reach all of our audiences. Yearbook still has to truck and finish the yearbook, right? But everybody else, number one, support the yearbook. We might need help with that. And then number two is we have the opportunity to still interact with an audience that needs us. And I think that's really cool. It does not mean that you have to do coronavirus stories full time all the time, because that makes, might not make sense for everyone, and that's okay. Recognizing, technical difficulties there. Recognizing, I think that we need to recognize that this is something that's going to change the course of history. It's not an overstatement at all. You will remember these days for the rest of your lives. The country and the world will reference these days, forever, guys, which is scary and hopefully not too scary, because it's also kind of exciting as far as how we react to these moments. I think means something about who we are as a society and who you are as a journalist, maybe. Again, that being said, if you're not comfortable doing the coronavirus stories, you don't have to. How you respond to this is also important as far as like just moving forward. That's good enough, people. Seriously, when I say how you respond to this and how you move forward, I really truly just mean in a general sense, not just with journalism. So you can move forward in many different ways and still make positive contributions to the rest of your life. And that's kind of what we're hoping to be focused on. We don't know if we're going to get back together sooner or later. So we're going to move forward in any way we can. All right. The idea being that since you're on Wired now, basically everybody's on Wired, you're going to keep the staff structures, you're going to report to the editors, and you're going to be publishing content on Wired. Or if you are in a situation that demands something different, whatever that means, or in a situation where maybe you don't have internet, or there's more concerns at your house than other people have, you will not have to publish on Wired. Okay, we're going to go and say that that's okay too. Although we are going to be asking that you're working in journalism every week. That can mean you're working on a tutorial. So if you're an illustrator, you could literally go to YouTube, look up a Illustrator poster design tutorial, go and do that, and then turn it in and say, hey, I worked on journalism this week. I got better at Illustrator, and Kay and I are going to be okay with that. Okay. We would really not want anyone to not do anything though. We need to keep ourselves busy, active. We're still in school. We still want to learn, and we're going to do the best we can. Okay. I created this for people to look at when they're out of ideas. So if you don't want to do a coronavirus story, there are many, 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 many other stories that need to be told or can be told. It's important during times like this, for instance, to write up what people can do during a stay-at-home situation. Your favorite movies that are on Netflix, maybe your favorite streaming service, maybe it's there's a whole bunch of different options, right? There's like a free movie database out there that's like movies whose copyright have expired, some classics that maybe people have never seen before. And there's a lot of different things. And so I'm sending this out. This is a web page with a whole bunch of different things. Some of these things apply, some of them don't. Okay, some of these, I made this a while ago when we were still at school. And so for instance, when you look at this, I say focus on the news, and that's still, wow, it's really bright over here. And that still matters. We're going to focus on the news, but it's not the only thing that we're looking at. We don't have really announcements right now except for what the district sends out. One of the things you could do in journalism is talk to strangers, right? You could still do that, right? Not in person right now, but you could go on Twitter, Snapchat. You could Skype with people. You could look at, Instagram feeds. You could find people that have interesting stories to tell. Reach out to them, ask them for their phone number, and do phone interviews. That's totally possible. You could go and set up a Skype interview or a FaceTime interview. You could record that, and that could be some kind of content. Maybe it's a doctor that your family knows that you're working with, who's dealing with the situation at school right now, or maybe it is just a story of an athlete who was looking forward to a season and they are in limbo, wondering if they're going to be able to finish out the year or do anything in their season, right? And there's other stories. What are artists doing right now, right? There's a lot of time for artists to be able to push forward and do more art. What are people who are writers? I can go on, right? There's a lot of people out there that have stories to tell. You'd have to reach out. You could also take a moment to look at what's going on. For instance, like deeper issues at school. This one is just Orson Scott Card is a writer who wrote Ender's Game, and Ender's Game was being taught at the school. And at the time, one of my students asked me, could they do a little opinion piece about why maybe Ender's Game shouldn't be taught because the author is or has made homophobic comments before. It's just looking at those types of things and being like, wow, that's something I should look at. You could call experts on that and ask them, right? There might be an expert out there that says yes and somebody else that says no, and you put together a piece and it's high quality journalism, right? Look at the different policies going on in your life at school. Down with detentions, this article. Look into the statistics. Why does detention exist? How did it get started? And how effective is it? I would be curious about that. Your students would be curious about that. School starting too early is still something. You can look at a bunch of different things. If you look at the local news right now, of course, it's dominated by coronavirus, but people are still doing other things. For instance, Stan Lee, this was made actually like a year or two ago, actually. This is when Stan Lee died. And at the time, a lot of people were really, really hurt by that, and they talked about that. So you could look at society and see what's going on that is worth a conversation. The different laws are still getting enacted, and people are doing different things. Elections, sports, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the NFL right now with trades and free agency. There are, of course, all kinds of things going on with the other sports getting canceled. Jaden was talking about doing a NCAA tournament on the video game console, right? The old NCAA March Madness games, and actually going in and changing the rosters and simulating the tournament for the rest of the school. That's awesome. That's fun journalism, and you get to play video games. That's really cool. You can look at popular culture, what movies are out there, what new movies came out on streaming, the best books that are out there, scariest movies, planning for holidays, that may be stay-at-home holidays, the summer, that's maybe a stay-at-home summer, gizmos. I love technology, reviewing things that you have, a new Apple Watch, or apps that people should look at is something that you could do. You can do Q&As are really powerful, question, answer. So literally you could just call up, let's say, Mr. Opperman, if he has the time. Right now, I don't think Mr. Opperman has any time. He's just an example. Question, Mr. Opperman, here's my question, and then you write down the answer. Question, answer, over and over. Really good content. Focus on having a conversation with the person, and then publishing that. I think that's pretty powerful. And that's just an example with Kylo Ren. You can make a podcast, ask Will Leikenberry. You can create an Adobe Spark. This is made on Adobe Spark. A documentary you could still do if you did it at home, okay? On your animals or your family life or how your family's interacting. That is a really cool documentary to do right now. Photos and audio slideshows, you can still do that at home, okay? I'm not going to say that you can't. You could also use old photos, and create a slideshow for an event that you covered a long time ago. Hey, remember the freshman day, and put together some pictures from that you didn't put a slideshow together for. Explaining how something works. For instance, why do we all procrastinate? There's basically, guys, an immense, endless amount of stories. Why many C students end up the most successful. People are always stressed out about getting A's. Is this like a real thing? Write a story about it. Call the expert. Q's and A's again. And there's all kinds. If you click here and here, there are many more examples. All right, this video is 10 minutes long. It's way too long. If you have questions, we're looking to have you check in once a week and say, ZK, this is what I worked on. This is what I got better at. Or this is the story I published. Right around there. If you miss a week because you had things going on with your family, that's okay. Okay, we're not gonna be holding you accountable in a way that's just completely outside expectations. Okay, so let us know how we could help. Do good things. Be positive. Okay, and have a safe time until we can get back together again, which is hopefully, guys, soon. I miss you all so much. Okay, and I shall see you later. Questions? Let us know.